Knowing how to get your wife or girlfriend back after she threatens to leave you and pulls away, it seems like an impossible task. It seems like no matter what you do or what you say to her, it's only pushing her away further and further, so you feel helpless. I mean, you try taking her on dates, you listen to her, you do all these chores. I mean, you're texting her more, you're being more attentive, and you're trying to deal with these issues. You're trying so hard to convey to her that you should not throw away years, sometimes decades of memories and a life built together. I mean, if she only knew how much you truly cared. Doesn't she get it? Doesn't she want to build back what you guys once had? You know, if she gave you just one more chance, you would prove to her that you are changed, that you can get back what you guys used to have together. When she would look at you in the eyes, look up at you and smile and say that she loved you. I mean, that's what you want back more than anything right now. I'm here to tell you that there is a systematic step-by-step process in order to get your wife back. Now, this is a process I call the relationship reconstruction method. And over the past 8 years as a licensed therapist, I've devoted my life to helping hundreds of husbands get their wife back using this system. Now, you're gonna do all of this without bending over backwards and feeling like you have to chase your wife to convince her to be with you. Now, before I show you this method, I have to show you the most common mistakes and false methods you'll find out there from other people in books that just don't work and why they don't work before I show you the method that does. Now, the first false method that causes your wife to pull away instead of come close is to do everything she wants. Now, I know it seems like a temporary solution, but what happens is that you're gonna make her happy in the short term for her eventually to leave you. Some guys think, okay, if I do everything she wants, if I finally do all these chores, or I actually give her extra space that she's asking for, she'll be happier and at least she won't go away. But that is a huge mistake. You see, the truth is your wife no longer feels safe with you. By you doing everything she wants, you are bending over backwards. This creates a needy, low-value energy that she always rejects and finds very unattractive. Because she lost all this trust in you, even if you do the chores, you take her on dates, you do all the things that she was complaining about for years, she's only thinking to herself, okay, he's doing all of these things for me to manipulate me, to get me back, and then he'll go back to the way things were. You see, right now in your marriage, she's creating a narrative, a story. And who do you think is the enemy? I know when you're feeling helpless and hopeless, you're gonna fall back on what seems right just to make her happy in the short term. But this is actually a losing battle. However, there are specific steps done in a very specific order that will slowly gain trust back, make her feel safe, and slowly attract her back to you every step along the way. Now, I'll show you how to do that at the very end of this video. Now, the second false method is actually a hard pill for me to swallow. Over the years, I recognize in working with couples together, things just weren't really successful. And statistics even show this, that most therapy couples, even if they see initial results over years, 5 years later, they never last. Let me give you a perfect metaphor that makes sense. When you first learn how to dance with your wife, you both have your dance moves. Now, at first, things may have been good. You're dancing to the music, maybe you're a little drunk in the process of love, and it doesn't even matter if you mess up. But what happens is that you guys have these specific dance moves, and when you come together, you just don't create the music. You step on each other's toes, and you stop wanting to dance with each other. Look, however, if you go to an expert that teaches you specific dance moves on your own, teaching you how to lead in the relationship, those dance moves are equivalent to the specific habits you can take with your wife. So when you match up with her again, you learn new moves, how to interact with her, how to communicate with her, how to respond to her in the correct way to lead a beautiful dance towards something that is, well, the language and the song of love. So to summarize this point, I really want you to embed this into your mind. When you guys come together with two dance moves, you're gonna step on each other's toes all the time. But by separating from her, learning the new habits because you're by yourself and you're with an instructor, and then you dance with her, everything just autocorrects.
I tried a therapist and this was 1,000 times better than the person I'd seen.
Now, the third false method is what I call balanced masculinity through the barrier method. Now, essentially, you here in our society, we've grown up to know that happy wife equals happy life, right? What if I told you that's complete BS? One of the biggest mistakes I see consistently with the hundreds of husbands I've helped over the years is that you are living in reaction to her. You are following her lead. Not always literally, but at least emotionally. You are reacting to her emotions instead of leading because the feminine is supposed to follow. Now, the two responses I see guys have is that they either become super controlling or they try to suffocate their wife. They become jealous. They monitor every little thing she does. They're looking at her phone. They're seeing where she's going. They're looking at her text messages behind her eyes, trying to catch her in some lie. And she feels smothered, so therefore she wants to leave. Or I see husbands completely give up. They bury themselves in work. They stop focusing on themselves and they do every little thing they can to make their wife happy because they're so afraid she will leave them. and they have no backbone, and so the wife loses respect. And for some guys, you may be saying to yourself, damn, I have both, which sometimes does happen. Look, if you're gonna take anything from this video, it's that a woman wants to be led. She wants to have you going in your direction in life, and she's along for the ride. No matter what she says or does, this is a fundamental truth about female psychology. The fourth false method has to do with your belief. Look, if you make none of these mistakes, but yet you make this last mistake, nothing matters. I want you to imagine that we're building out this truck. This truck is going to get you to the destination of you saving your marriage. Now, all the correct steps before this are the wheels, it's the engine, it's the paint, it's the exterior, but your belief is the actual fuel, the actual gas to get you to where you want to be. So no matter what the vehicle you have is, if you lack the gas, you're not going to get there. A lot of husbands that fail to get their wife back, that lack the belief, say things like this.
What if I go through all the correct steps and she doesn't even notice? Yeah, Josh, I can change, but my wife is bipolar, narcissistic, or she's going through some midlife crisis.
Or oftentimes I'll hear,
Yeah, Josh, but she gave me the divorce papers. Or she's seeing a friend. No matter what I do, it's already lost.
look, you think your situation is unique, but I'm telling you, I have seen every single situation under the sun. I've had men that the wife has moved out, given the divorce papers, and was seeing another guy, all the trifecta of the three, and she still came back.
Well, I think it was my persistence in maintaining that belief, coupled with a strategy that could execute the practicalities of being able to get her back.
Mhm.
You know,
So she gave you the divorce papers. You were like, at first you were like kind of thrown back, obviously, but then you just like, no, like this, what was the belief you were telling yourself that made you kind of like stay consistent and persistent with it?
like this is just paperwork.
This is just, it doesn't,
It doesn't change her status as my soulmate.
oh, that's good.
Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat things. I'm going to give you straight facts. If you don't believe to your core that you can and will get her back, if given the right steps, you won't. You might as well just end the marriage right now. But if a part of you has hope and belief that you can and will get her back, I am telling you, there are steps involved to do so. You just have to ask yourself the question, is she worth fighting for? Look, I'll tell you about one of my clients, the one you just saw in our sessions together. Now this man, he had belief. I'm gonna tell you a story about his dog. You know, he had no kids with his wife, but his dogs were his children, okay? Now one of his dogs got cancer. He took it to the vet, and this dog was essentially his kid, right? He would do anything for it. And multiple vets said, if you perform this surgery, it's gonna cost you upwards of $15,000, and there's like a 30% chance he'll survive. That man, he didn't care. He sold his vintage BMW that he was working on for 15 years just to perform the surgery. And his dog still died. And he looked at me in the eyes when he told me this story. He says, Josh, I would do it again. And I would do it again. And that's the kind of man you need to be. You need to think of yourself down the road at the end of your life, on your deathbed, saying to yourself, did I try everything I could to save this marriage? Or am I going to be a man that lives with regret? Now you can click right here to check out the next video on how to really use my relationship reconstruction method to get her back. If you want to skip that video and just jump on a free call with me or my lead coach, there are limited spots each week to give you a personalized strategy call towards your specific situation with your wife. On that call, we're going to go over all the obstacles and the things you've done incorrectly that led you to where you're at. And then on the path to get your wife back, what obstacles may arise, how to respond to them each and every day to get closer day by day to getting back the marriage better than it was before. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.